Hello there, it's GotAUkulele back, it's instrument review day, and as always, remember, this is just the summary video review. Below every one of my videos you'll find a link to the website where you'll get more photographs, much more detailed specifications, and loads more information from the website itself, so do check that out. Okay, this one, brand I've featured about 2 or 3 times before, and this one's been sent over to me from them. They are a homegrown builder from Minnesota in the USA, in the form of cabinet maker Pete Mai and his wife Shelley, who run Bonanza ukuleles, and I really liked what I've looked at from theirs. What they have in common is that they're all kind of very, very different in the way they're made. They're not built like normal ukuleles, and you kind of look at them and go, how's that going to work? But they do work, and they sound really good, and they're really playable. Things like the Oreo and the Bonanza Lele hybrid banjo thing. Really like them. And he sent me this one over, which is called the Saguaro Tenor ukulele, and it is quite the looker. Now, I don't like ukes that look like guitars, but a lot of people will go for this one because it's certainly different. And therefore the review changes because I can't look at this in quite the same way, and the reason for that is the way he builds these. This is built very similar to the Oreo. So the pale wood on this is aspen and the darker wood is mahogany, and what it is there are 2 pieces of wood here which he routes out into 2 bowls, so basically on a machine, and it cuts out the bowl and they get stuck together like a clamshell with that strip of mahogany in the middle to create the chamber. That's why it's quite thin-bodied, but it also means it's not built like a regular ukulele. You've not got a top and a back stuck onto side pieces, because the top is kind of integral to its own side piece. Very, very unusual. It's how the Oreo's built. I was dubious, but it really worked on the Oreo, sounded great. And that's what he's employed here. It's basically a different shape outer. Sorry about the light in here, by the way. Very gloomy out there. Okay, so this is an aspen body with this mahogany stripe, all finished in a semi kind of gloss that's really tactile and smooth edged and really nice, a bit like the Oreo. I think the light in here is getting freaked out by the brightness of this ukulele. All right, just before we get on to how it's really constructed inside, we have a walnut through body bridge with a Korean saddle. That's just with some little sort of star hole decorations, and the way that works is you feed the string through there, pull them at the sound hole, tie a knot and pull them back. Not quite as straightforward as something like a slot bridge, but probably a bit easier than a tie bar bridge. I quite like them. You'll notice there's quite a bit of decoration going on this one, flames and stars. Not to my taste either. However, it doesn't affect the review because, like with all instruments from Bonanza, you can have what you like within reason. You want your name on there, or the date of your wedding, or the date of your children's birth, or a picture of your face. Within reason, Pete can etch it because it's laser etched. So I wouldn't have this. And maybe I wouldn't have anything. You don't have to have decoration. And I kind of like that. This, incidentally, is not laser etching. That's actually a hole all the way through. It's like a shoulder sound hole, so that's kind of interesting. So there we are. There's the body. I like that. The neck is bolted on, made of mahogany, and it's in 3 pieces. There's a joint down here, one at the headstock, but they're really hard to spot. It's finished in a gloss. Quite a nice sort of shallow backed profile up here. Although, unlike other Bonanzas I've looked at, I wish the nut was a little bit wider. This is 36.5, 27 G2A. Not super narrow, but I'd like it a little bit wider. There we are. Whilst I don't like the flames down here, I do like the decoration on the fingerboard. They're like lightning bolt inlays in wood. They're really cool, and they're at 5, 7, 10, 12 and 15, and thankfully you also get dots on the side. The frets might look like the edge of that fretboard is bound because you can't see the fret ends, but it's not bound. It's what Pete calls his self-bound fretboard, and what he does is when he puts the slots in for hammering in the fret pieces, he doesn't cut them right to the edge of the wood, so they sit and they're a bit shorter, a bit narrower than the fingerboard itself. That's really cool because it means absolutely no fret ends. You get 14 of those to the body, 18 in total. That's really comfortable. Like that idea. Okay, beyond the headstock, beyond the nut rather, Korean, that's a Korean nut there, is the usual Bonanza simple headstock shape. I like it. It's faced with more of the aspen and the mahogany as a nod to the body, and the Bonanza logo is etched. Tuners, I've looked at these before. I looked at these on the Bonanza Lele. They are Graphtec ratio tuner Lele. They're planetary tuners, rather like the GotAUPTs that face backwards, but they're not friction pegs. They've got little gears inside there. They work really, really well, and they're an awful lot cheaper than the GotAUPTs. But like I said on the Bonanza Lele review, I still think they look like doorknobs. There we are. Anyway, once again, you don't want those with Bonanza. Don't have them. You want regular friction pegs, you want regular gears, you want Gotos. Pete can do that because you specify what you want. Other than that, extras, you get a couple of strap buttons, and the strings are Saguaro Blue Label fluorocarbon. Really well put together, like everything I've ever looked at from Pete. You know, he does know what he's doing when it comes to wood. It's really light and really nicely balanced, and tone-wise, now, like the Oreo, it is not the loudest ukulele in the park, although it does hold its own. The sustain from memory, and I don't have the Oreo here, but from memory, I think the sustain is a little bit better. It's very good. And now, I didn't really know what aspen was going to sound like, but it looks like a very bright wood. It looks like a bright instrument. Maybe it's because it looks like maple or spruce. But it isn't overly bright as an instrument to play. It's actually really nicely balanced between the highs and the lows. And this is a high G tuning. This is re-entrant. But it's dead clear, and it's dead clear all the way up. It doesn't lose. And jangly. That's nice. Nothing much wrong with that. I love it finger picked. Seems to be even louder. And like I say, it gets really good up the neck. Lovely to play. Yeah, the Bonanza Saguaro Tenor. Did I mention the price? I don't think I did. It's $389 in this spec. That's a bit more expensive than the Oreo and the Bonanza Lele. A little bit more. I don't know what's caused that, but it's still a good price for something you're getting. It's handmade. It's made to your specs, and not made in China. It's made by a luthier, a builder in America. I like this. I wouldn't have the decoration on it, but I like the fact you get choice. Would like the fingerboard a little bit wider, but it's not unplayable at all. I think the Oreo still edges it slightly for me, but it depends, you know. Horses for courses. People will like different things. Once again, though, Pete has shown that he can make something really clever. Do you know what? I also didn't tell you about the bracing, did I? That's the detail about that bracing and how it's braced inside is in the written review. Go read that, because I need to draw this to a close now. I'll be back next week with another instrument review. It's another brand that I've never had on GotAUkulele before, so I'm quite looking forward to that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and go very carefully. Bye-bye.